Hello and welcome everyone to today's Commodities Corner, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Just want to do a quick sound check, guys. Make sure you can hear me loud and clear. Yep, fantastic. Okay, great. So we shall get started. So first of all, during the live session today, we will be covering a review of the commodities markets. This week, we'll be reviewing our top trades of the week. We'll cover live technical analysis, and trading will be identifying highly profitable trade setups. We'll look at the week ahead, so the key events looking forward. And of course, we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So before we start, I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer, and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, agricultural commodities. I train thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. Also responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies. They have a proven track record of generating returns for traders and a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars, and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kelsey, professional trader, investment analyst, and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading, and prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, spent several years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. Through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, mindset, and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global and business and financial publications, and we've appeared frequently on financial television. Okay, so we'll just take a look at the gold price at the moment. Currently, gold is trading at $1,232 per ounce. So we'll take a look at that very shortly. The US dollar index looking very interesting too. The top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies have been as follows. So we had a lovely trade last week on natural gas. A very similar setup we've got actually today, which we can take a look at. It was a rise trade for the price to be higher, buying at 3.861, and very simply looking out for a breakout trade which moved nicely in our direction. We had a nice sell short set up last week on wheat, just very simply for a full trade for the price to be lower, selling at 503.70. And we also had a nice breakout trade on WTI crude oil, a rise trade for the price to be higher, entering at 93.05 there. So some nice day trade opportunities. And we'll have a look at the charts at the moment, how they're lining up. We've got a few trade opportunities actually currently right now. So we'll be looking at the rise and fall trades on binary.com. So very simply, if you select rises, you win the payout if the market exit price is strictly higher than the entry price. And if you select falls, you win the payout if the market exit price is strictly lower than the entry price. So those are two types of trade that we'll be looking at today. Okay, so we're just going into some live technical analysis, and we'll go through some of the setups that we're seeing at the moment. Okay, so the first market we want to take a look at, and if there are any questions at all, do put those into the chat, okay, and we can go over those. The first market we'll have a look at is the US dollar index. So we can see the US dollar index actually at the moment has broken down slightly over the last day or so. We've had an indecision candle on the markets yesterday. We've broken down slightly from that indecision candle, current price 84.53, and this has actually had a knock-on effect with the metals today. We've actually seen gold rally to the upside in the last couple of hours here. We've got a breakout up to $1,231 US dollars an ounce. Also seen a nice breakout on some of the other metals as well. So the first trade actually I want to have a look at for you is the natural gas setup. So we've got a very clear trend channel here. On the daily chart, you can see a number of times we've tested this key event area. We had a doji form yesterday, indecision candle, which you can see the market is starting to break out above that candle just at the moment. Current price 3.894 here for natural gas. So we will actually take a trade for the price to be higher here for natural gas. So very simply, we've got a nice trade opportunity here. We can see we've cleared above yesterday's highs. We've come back down to retest the lower end of the trend channel. And the last 2 weeks running, every Thursday after the natural gas storage inventories, we have seen a sell-off for the price of natural gas just coming right back down to the low end of this trend channel. Okay, so we're just going to be looking this time for the price just to come back up to the higher end of the trend channel. Again, very straightforward trade here. Okay, so I'm just going to go for a rise trade here. So very simply, we are going to go across to the energy sector, and we are looking here at the natural gas index. And very simply looking for the price to close higher. So the deposit on that, $1,566 an ounce for a $3,000 payout. Okay, so that will be the setup that we're looking at the moment. So we're looking for a rise trade, 91% payout. We'll just fast forward that to 5 minutes in the future here. Okay, so the contract will be from 11.50, a 4-hour trade for the price to be higher here on natural gas. That's looking good. Just going to purchase that contract. Okay, good. That has been done. Right, so that's the first trade I wanted us to take there. Looks a really solid setup. Triggered a little bit earlier on this morning as well, but that looks good for a nice solid move to the upside here. So again, just going back to US dollar index, we can see we're getting some pressure on the US dollar index today. We've got a nice spike to the upside here on gold. Now, gold, what I'll be looking out for at the current levels is possibly a move back down within the overall downward trend here again. So we may find you've got a channel here that gold has been following quite nicely. This big downward trending channel that we've been in, really, we've been selling off quite significantly since about mid-August here on gold. We continue just to step lower. You can see the price rises and comes back down just within this overall downward trend channel. We did break down to new 9-month lows here on Friday. In fact, silver came down and broke 4-year lows, but Friday we came down to 1,200 and actually on Friday we came all the way down to $1,213 an ounce, and just yesterday we came down to $1,207 an ounce. So you can see we've had a spike to the upside, but only just up to the resistance channel here. So we could turn around from this current point. So what I'm going to be doing is monitoring this on tighter time frames here to see whether the market will in fact turn around from this key resistance area. Okay, so I'll be looking to see whether the market will just turn from this resistance zone. We've also got a trend channel here as well. It's not quite ready yet for a sell short, but we should be ready. Let's have a look. About the next couple of hours, we should have much better, clearer idea of whether we want to short here. You can see actually starting to sell off a bit already. We'll just break it down into a tighter time frame. There you go. Got a nice doji forming as well on the 1 hour. So we'll keep an eye on that for gold this afternoon. We'll just take a look at silver as well. Silver actually broke to 4-year lows just yesterday. So we came all the way down to $17.32. So a major breakdown in the price of silver. Break through some major support zones here, the 1820 level. You can see silver's trying to get a little bit of a push to the upside today. There was a rejection candle which formed yesterday. You can see the market push a little bit higher. But overall, I'd be much more interested in shorting silver if it comes back up to the upper end of the trend channel. So around this resistance zone, I'd be looking to get into a sell short and just take the market back down to the lower end of the trend channel again. So this is what I'm looking at for silver. Not looking to get into a buy here or try and pick a bottom for the silver market. We could be due more downside in the coming days here. If we look over as well, just have a look at some of the other metals. So we'll just have a look at the correlations here with palladium actually on the daily actually may give us, we'll have a look on the weekly so far. We're getting a little bit of support around the major support zone and moving average. We're just on the raw charts at the moment, but there's some Fibonacci levels and some key moving averages around the current zone here for palladium, which will be very interesting this week, which you can trade via the metals index. And let's also have a look at the energies here as well. Okay, you can see here at the moment with light sweet crude oil still very much following a strong downward trending channel at the moment with light sweet crude oil. Light sweet crude oil looking quite interesting on the daily here. We are forming almost a V-shaped reversal pattern, which would be a key level to break here, would be 89.54 here. So we can actually see the pattern which is starting to develop. And very simply, we'd be looking for the market to come down. So it's at 91.47 at the moment. If we do get more bearish momentum this week, if we can get a breakdown, certainly below yesterday's low of 90.50 here, get a breakdown to 89.54, we could get quite a nice sell-off here and a sell-short opportunity. Probably be ready if we do get that sort of a price structure. That setup will be ready later on in the week. But look at the 89.50 zone here. This will be a key zone to break here at the moment for light sweet crude oil. Nice V-shaped reversal pattern. The trend will be your friend on this one. Got very much a downward trending channel, which is still in place on light sweet crude oil for the time being. It's not quite ready to trade yet, but you can see the structure of this channel is very much still in downward trending at the moment. Okay, so we'll have a look at Brent crude oil as well. Brent crude oil, similar situation, still stuck in a downward trending channel. You can see each time we come down just to the lower end of that trend channel where the market is provided with some support, and then it just tends to rotate and retrace back to the higher end of this channel. So same situation that I'm looking at for gold here really and silver. I'm looking for rotations back up to the trend lines here and then looking to take those for a better entry to get back in short. Particularly, you can see around this resistance zone at 1232 here on gold, we could have a nice sell short opportunity for a breakdown lower here again. So we'll be looking at that today to see if the market will just rotate lower again. But there's no setup right now available on gold. We've already had a nice breakout to the upside from this indecision candle, and now we're looking to see whether the market will either break out again or whether it will get a full-on reversal at these levels. We'll just take a look also at wheat and corn here. So wheat and corn still continuing to break down. Had some lovely sell shorts on those last week. We came down, hit some profit targets on Friday and also some profit targets on yesterday as well, on Monday. You can see indecision candle on the daily just yesterday. So if we can get a break below the low of yesterday here, if we get a break below 469, we could certainly be due more downside here on wheat. Again, it's not quite ready yet. We'll just take a look at corn. Corn, similar situation, following a very strong downward trending channel at the moment. We've had some lovely sell shorts, hit our profit targets yesterday and also on Friday as well with corn. So we're waiting for the next setup here. You can see we're just developing a doji at the moment on the daily chart. So not quite ready here for another entry. We'll also just have a look at the copper market here as well. Yeah, copper is actually looking still relatively bearish here on the daily. You can see we're continuing to break down. Got a nice trend channel actually on copper as well, similar to the other metals too. And what we may do is certainly we could see a rotation just a little bit lower here. We've got a nice inverse hammer which is formed on the daily here. So we could still be due a smaller rotation just lower here until we come down to this trend line and then possibly rotate back up to the resistance channel again here. The only challenge we've got here on copper is that although it does look like it has some weakness ahead, it could just come down to lower end of this channel and then rotate higher again. You can see that there's really not. The great thing about binary is that you only need to be right by 1 pip. So if the market just closes 1 pip lower than our entry price, we win the entire trade here with this particular example. However, the market could, over the course of this week and certainly later on today, could rotate back up to higher end of the trend channel here as well. 622. And if we do get a break above that tomorrow, we may see a rotation back up towards the upper end of this trend channel here on copper. What you want to note at the moment and keep an eye on just this afternoon is that gold is actually right at the upper end of this trend channel. So if it does get a breakout to the upside, it could get quite a decent move here. We need to see how the price is going to play out. But given that we're seeing gold rally, the silver's getting a bit of a lift, palladium's getting a lift. Let's have a look at platinum. Platinum's also had a good lift on the daily. It's a bullish engulfing candle. So we may see a rise here with copper. So I think we won't sell short for the time being, although there is a bit of weakness in here. I really do think the best setups right now is the natural gas long. So let me just do a quick recap again. We'll go over the major news announcements we've got this week. So again, the US dollar index. So for your technical analysis, the US dollar index, we had an indecision candle yesterday. The market is breaking lower. So we're seeing the other metals rally inversely to that. So the US dollar index had a failed break. It was trying to get above here the 2-year highs around the 85 level. Didn't manage to do that, so we're getting a bit of a pullback. Gold at the moment had a strong rally. We've moved over, since the daily lows here, we've moved about 200 points to the upside. Keep an eye on this afternoon to see if we'll get a rotation lower. We may get a sell off around this 1233 zone and we get a move lower here. So we may have an opportunity to short on gold. Natural gas looks good for a long. Wheat and corn, we're waiting for the next setup. Coffee daily actually did get a breakout to the upside here. Coffee's actually one you can trade for a breakout move. You can see on the daily, yesterday's rejection candle off a major support zone has been triggered. So that's moving quite nicely here. I expect more momentum actually because we're just about clearing. Let's just double check that. Yeah, we're just about cleared here, this previous mother candle high. So actually, I quite like coffee here just for a continuation of momentum. So we can take that as well, actually. So I'm very simply going to go across to the agricultural sector. I'm going to scroll across to the coffee index. And it's an 81% payout. So the deposit on that is $1,653.37 for a $3,000 payout. Let's just check that setup again. Yeah, you can see coffee's rallying quite nicely off that support zone. So, yeah, happy to take that. Again, with binary.com, you just need your trade to finish 1 pip in your direction. You win the entire payout. So 81% payout, $1,653 deposit for a $3,000 payout here. Okay, moving across to silver. Yes, silver's still not really getting much of a lift, even though we've seen a breakout on gold in the last couple of hours. Silver not really doing too well. Again, looking to get more short positions on silver at the moment for the short-term retracements, just from better entry prices here. And palladium and platinum, you can trade through the metals index. They've already had their bullish move for the day. And we'll be keeping an eye on Brent crude oil and WTI crude oil to see whether we break down through major support zones. So again, those setups will probably be ready by tomorrow or a bit later in the week, Wednesday or Thursday. Might even be ready for Friday's Commodities Corner here as well. So those are the key setups we're seeing today. So natural gas for a buy and also coffee for a buy. So with that, I'll just go over to the major news announcements that we have coming out today and this week. PM BST, we have the US manufacturing PMI. So the Manufacturing Purchases Managers Index PMI measures the activity level of purchasing managers in the manufacturing sector. A reading above 50 indicates expansion in the sector, below 50 indicates contraction. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Then on Wednesday, the 24th of September at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the U.S. crude oil inventories. That data reports a number of barrels of crude oil commercial firms have in their inventory. Commercial firms report those inventory levels to the Energy Information Administration on a weekly basis. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for crude oil prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. And then we have later on in the week as well, of course, we have the US core durable goods on Thursday, the 25th of September at 1:30 p.m. BST and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The core durable good order measured the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods, excluding transportation items. So a higher reading indicates increased manufacturing activity. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. And then Thursday, the 25th of September at 1:30 p.m. BST, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US initial jobless claims. That data measures the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. This is the earliest US economic data, and week-to-week numbers can be volatile. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. And then Thursday, the 25th of September at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US natural gas storage report. So the Energy Information Administration, the EIA, natural gas storage report measures the change in the number of cubic feet of natural gas held in underground storage during the past week. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for natural gas prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. So those are the major news announcements we need to look out for commodities for this week. And if you are trading natural gas on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. will be a big mover, okay, for natural gas trading. So do keep an eye on that if you are day trading the commodities, especially the energies, natural gas. And of course, if you'd like to learn to trade commodities with the Gold and Silver Club, you can find out more about our courses, which are available at our international training centers and online. Very simply, you just need to go across to request information on the coaching programs and live trading room. Just go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com or telephone us at our London, New York, Johannesburg, or Budapest or Hong Kong office. I'll leave the numbers on the screen for you there. And also make sure you take advantage of our newsletter. You'll get free weekly reports on the precious metals, energies, agriculture, as well as live market analysis and prices. So do make sure you go across to our website and take advantage of our free weekly newsletter. Okay, excellent. Right, so with that, I wish you good luck for the rest of today's trading. That is it for today's session. Do make sure you join us back here also for Friday's Commodities Corner at 12:30 BST. Okay, and thanks, of course, to Barney.com and Charisse for putting on today's webinar. Okay, thanks, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.